Hey, happy Monday, everybody. I wanted to go over the assignment that we are starting today. And today is Get Your Computer Day. So I'm super excited because we're going to start this project on paper, but it is actually going to be completed and submitted on the computer. And that makes it way easier for you to turn in and for me to grade and all the things. So as we get started today, I'm going to take you from the Friendship ISD website. You can use Friendship ISD or you can go to the Heritage website to get to the programs, most of the programs that we're going to use. So I'm going to go to Student, and if you're on the Heritage website, it's going to be Student Resources. If you're on the Friendship website, Student Links. And then there's all kinds of programs for you to use. We, in this class, use Savvis. That is our textbook. We'll use the textbook some. And then Schoology is the learning management platform for our district. So you're going to see that a lot as you, this year and then all through the future. There's also Skyward, which is the gradebook. You want to make sure that you are able to log into Skyward and check your grades on a regular basis. Especially after the first couple weeks of school, those grades start hitting and they add up really quickly. So if there is a certain grade that you are expecting yourself to keep, don't just assume that that's happening. Make sure you go in and check it a couple times a week. All right. So we're going to work with Schoology today. So if you click on Schoology, it'll give you the login, and hopefully you remember logging in last year, but if not, they should be giving that to you in the library. And always we go to courses. I have a whole bunch of courses. You probably don't have this many, but we're going to look at Honors English. And then once you get in here, there's a parent folder with some resources that are great to share with your parents. Student resources and anchor charts will go in here. Right now, I have a lit term list. So that may help you if you need to use some lit terms on this project, if you want to look those up. And then if you click on first 6 weeks, we have the first week of school, the second week of school, and then this is where we are in the third week of school, and we're going to start the Alphabox project. So we're going to click on that. Okay, and right here it has the due date. It's due 9/6, which is a Tuesday. We have a 3-day weekend this weekend because of Labor Day. And then you'll have the opportunity to turn that in. And you can always turn it in early because you're going to be on Schoology. So what we are doing is working with our theme for this 6 weeks, which is the unit theme is what are some of the challenges of growing up. And the Alphabox project is going to look like, pulling it up. Whew. My computer is doing some things today. Very strange things. Okay, so the rough draft of the Alphabox project is going to look something like this. It's the whole alphabet on and you have just little boxes for it. Your final project that you're going to turn in both, but your final project that you'll turn in will be a PowerPoint. So as I'm talking through, you're going to rough draft it here, so kind of figure out what you're going to do, start writing on here. That's what you're going to do today, and you want to have a good rough draft before you start working in the PowerPoint. That PowerPoint will be your brainstorming. You're also going to use the checklist below right here so that you make sure that you have all the essential parts. Then you're going to create the PowerPoint, and each letter is going to have a slide. So when you turn it in, you're going to have at least a 26-slide PowerPoint as well as the paper draft ready to turn in on the Tuesday after our 3-day weekend. And you can always turn it in early, so you'll have time this week to work on it, and you may finish it a little bit early. So like I said, all 26 letters need to be represented. You must include at least one example of characterization, which we worked a lot with yesterday. Theme, which you should know, but if you need a refresher, you can use that glossary that I showed you, or you can just look up theme in literature. You need to find the conflict, and you need to find symbolism. And just talking to a few people, it looks like symbolism is a little bit difficult for you, so I'm going to throw up a symbolism video that you can watch to understand what some of the symbols in the Outsiders are. You're going to have at least 10 examples with illustrations or graphics. So, and I'm going to include images in that as well. So like this is an image. If you get the images from the internet, you need to cite them. And I'm not going to make you have a full citation, but if you grab the URL and paste that at the bottom of your slide, that will be included. So grab the URL, and that can be your citation for this part. Let me see, where am I? All examples are going to follow that ACE method that we learned next week. So your answer is going to be A is for whatever A is for, okay? So in our case, our answer is going to be maybe A is for apple, because in the whole book, Soda eats apples on every page of the book. So we're going to make apple our A. And so that's our answer. We're going to prove it by finding a quote on any of the pages where it's like Soda eats apples every day and he loves eating apples. And then we're going to explain it in our own words to say, throughout the book, I noticed that Soda is crazy about apples and eats apples all the time. Okay? So remember, just our proof is going to be an actual quote with quotation marks, and it needs to have the page number. Okay? You're always going to put the page number on the quote. No one idea may be reproduced or recycled, and I do want you to do your own work. That doesn't mean that you can't have any overlapping with other students in your table group or in your group, but you should not have a whole bunch of them overlapping. There are some terms that are pretty standard, but just make sure that you are doing your own work and your own thinking. Okay? So this is your checklist. You can, jot it down and make sure that you get each of those parts completed. There is a rubric down here that shows what I'm looking for. It is utilization of time. I'm giving you class time to do this, so making sure that you're using that wisely. The text and graphics are relevant, and they actually really work with the Outsiders. You're not kind of just doing whatever you want. The required elements are all there, that you've got the theme, the conflict, symbolism, and characterization examples, and you can tell me where those examples are, or you've clearly labeled those examples so that as I'm going through, I know this is what your slide that you are utilizing theme. Visual clarity and appeal. Basically, if you have an image that's dark and you're typing dark over it, that's going to be a problem. So make sure that anyone looking at this can easily read it and understand it. Content, spelling, grammar, and punctuation. So again, you're using PowerPoint to turn in your final draft, so it should be very clear what, that you fixed your spelling and your punctuation. All of that pops up on PowerPoint, and it lets you know that you're having issues with it. So definitely the first one, utilizing time. I would much rather have you done with it early and turn it in early than come on the 6th and say, I did not have time to finish it. So make sure that you are utilizing your time. Okay? Please let me know if you have questions, and hopefully this is a fun project. This was part of the summer reading in the past, and this year we decided to let you do it during class time. So make sure that you're using that class time wisely.